School over at Bourne Abbey here, and welcome to collective worship on this rainy Tuesday morning. I'm going to start by lighting our candle and saying our special words. Jesus is the light of the world. And I'm going to share our new memory verse with you for the rest of this term. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. And I think you'll be able to think about that during our collective worship today. So I'm going to talk to you about confidence. What does the word confidence actually mean? And I want you to stop our collective worship now and just have a conversation with your teacher, because for those of you in Key Stage 2, that will be quite easy to explain, but for the younger children, you might need your teachers to help you. So what does confidence mean? At this time of year, we often think about the achievements that we have made throughout the year so far. And this year's been a bit different, hasn't it? But there is no doubt that you have all made some quite incredible achievements. You have all achieved so much. And your teachers have been busy writing your reports, and they talk about your smarts and your God-given talents and all the things that you have achieved. And those reports are there to share those achievements at home. When I read children's reports, I love to read about when children have grown in confidence. It shows that you're believing in yourselves that little bit more. But growing in confidence isn't just to do with maths and reading or writing or science. You can grow in confidence in so many different ways. So I want you to stop here, and I want you to talk to your teachers, talk to your friends, and think about yourself and the other people that you know. How have you grown in confidence? How have they grown in confidence? And share that together. Share it with a friend. I'm going to read you a story now about growing in confidence and how others can help you to do that. As you listen, I want you to think about the two characters and how they've supported each other and how they've supported each other to feel more confident. If you could just stop it there.
The lion inside. In a dry, dusty place where the sand sparkled gold stood a mighty flat rock, all craggy and old. And under that rock, in a tiny full house, lived the littlest, quietest, meekest brown mouse. He was so very tiny, so incredibly small, that nobody noticed him ever at all. He got trod on and sat on and missed out for stuff, ignored and forgotten. Yes, mouse life was tough. Meanwhile, far above, on top of the rock, times were quite different. It was lion o'clock. The huge, toothsome creature made sure everyone saw how important he was by how loud he could. He was head of the pack. He was shouty and tough. He loved showing the crowd. He was made of strong stuff. Yes, all were impressed by this mighty king cat. If only, thought Mouse, I could be more like that. Then late one dark night in this mini mouse bed, the cleverest thought popped into his head. He jumped from the covers and held up a paw. I've got it, he said. What I need is what if this mouse with the weeniest squeak was a little more grrr and a little less meek? Well, he'd still be the smallest of fuzzy brown mice, but he'd make friends and join in, and life would be nice. Yes, thought the mouse, I must find out how. I will learn how to roar. I will learn it now. But, oh my gosh, there was only one beast who could teach him this thing, but might make him a feast. It was time to be strong, take a chance. After all, forever was such a long time to feel small. So he made himself brave, and he thought like a winner. He set off for the top, hoping not to be dinner. It felt like the scariest thing he could do. But if you want to change things, you first have to change you. The further he climbed, the closer he got to the slumbering lion reclining on top. Then at last, as he stood on his tippity toes, he found himself suddenly nose to nose. Pardon me. Wake up, Mr. Lion. You've got company. Mr. Lion, what I've come to you for is... Do you think you could teach me your roar? A silence befell that twinkling plain. Lion opened his eyes and puffed out his mane. Time slowed right down. Why, it felt like a week. Then he opened his mouth and let out a eek. The lion was shaking, his paws all a fumble. He was backing away with a scrambling tumble. Don't hurt me, he whimpered. Oh, I'm trying to be nice. Well, my goodness, this lion was frightened of mice. Don't worry, Mouse peeped. I'm a friend, not a foe. Let's rock this together. We'll have fun, don't you know? That was a magical moment for sure, when Mouse didn't feel at all small anymore. He had found his true voice and learned to speak out, and for that you don't need to roar or to shout. And from that day and always, the two were a pair. They both liked that rock better, now that rock was to share. The mouse, while still little, felt big in his head, and Lion, he still roared, but with laughter instead. Yes, that day they both learned that no matter what your size, we all have a mouse and a lion inside.
So the lion and the mouse supported each other to feel braver, to feel more confident. You can absolutely think about lots and lots of our different Christian values with that story. God can make us feel more confident because knowing that He's with us helps us to feel braver, helps us to know that He is guiding and supporting us and giving confidence in everything we do. And linking that back to the memory verse, we can give thanks to God for that. I want you now to reflect on how you have become more confident this year. What's helped you? What have you done to be able to be more confident? And I want you to share that on your Padlet in your classroom. Okay, thank you. And then. So I'm going to read a prayer now. And if you want to make the prayer your own, please do say Amen at the end. And if you want to join in by closing your eyes, that's absolutely fine. But if you can prepare yourself for prayer. Dear God, please help us when we are not feeling confident about something. Help us to not be scared to admit that we need reassurance, and we should not be afraid to ask for help. Please help us to ask, help us to trust in you, and help us to find ways of being confident so we can continue to learn new skills. Amen.